Right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran and welcome back to another Resident Evil video. For today we're going to be taking a look at Resident Evil 8 or another Resident Evil title, possibly coming to the Nintendo Switch in the future. So you're probably wondering why am I talking Switch today instead of just talking about a future RE title and just in general. This is because as an owner of a Switch, I cannot wait for Resident Evil 7 or another Resident Evil title to come to the Switch. Now I know that Revelations 1 and 2 are on the platform right now, but I feel like Capcom re-released those games just to see what the market would be like for those kind of titles on Nintendo. Over the years, Capcom have had a good relationship with Nintendo, especially how at Capcom's request Nintendo increased the RAM when Nintendo asked for feedback on the system during its development. Capcom wanted the increased RAM on the Switch so the console would be able to support that new RE engine, which powers Resident Evil 7. But let's take a look at Nintendo's and Capcom's history just for a brief moment. I say brief, it's probably going to last like 5 minutes. Starting from the GameCube, Capcom have always supported Nintendo platforms during the GameCube cycle, and even making the first Resident Evil Remake an exclusive to the platform. Well, it was an exclusive to the platform. It actually got re-released a couple of years ago. Was it a couple of years ago? It can't be. Actually, yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago. By the way, fun fact, Resident Evil Remake is actually one of my favourite games of all time. One of my favourite survival horror games of all time as well, and I just fucking adore the game. I can't tell you how many times I played through it. Capcom then went on to port Resident Evil 2 and 3 onto the system, and eventually bring Resident Evil 4, which at the time was a timed exclusive to GameCube. Oh yeah, and Resident Evil 2 found its way to Nintendo 64 back in 2000, so yeah, they started bringing RE titles back in like the N64 days. So yeah, it wasn't starting from the GameCube, it was actually starting from the N64. During the Wii's cycle, Capcom brought out Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition, which was a cool. Do you know what? I've never actually played that edition of Resident Evil 4, and I really want to just because the whole aiming system would be quite difficult, really. And yeah, I want to see the challenge for myself. Apparently there's like I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a few exclusive things on the Wii. Could be wrong about that one, to be fair. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Yeah, so Resident Evil Archives Resident Evil in both the Umbrella and Darkside Chronicles also got released on the Nintendo. Both at the time were exclusive to the Wii. Yeah, this is kind of the running theme of this video with all these timed exclusives and that. But don't worry lads, it does not end here. There's a lot more timed exclusives coming with Resident Evil. The DS had Resident Evil Deadly Silence, and yes, that does mean REDS, which is quite clever. Which was a port of the very first Resident Evil title on the DS. Then there was Revelations in Mercenaries 3D for the 3DS. I actually remember seeing Revelations for the 3DS back in the day and being like, ah man, that better come out for Xbox, because I don't know, I just liked the look of it. And then there was a lot of good reviews and all that about it, saying how it was more focused on horror aspects than like what RE5 was and RE6 was. So I really wanted to play it, and I'm glad it got released. Yeah, so they brought this game out everywhere after the whole exclusivity thing went out the window, and yeah, they fucking went ham with that game. I'll talk about more of that in a bit. So I'm just looking up their history, like Nintendo and Capcom's history right now while writing this video, and I noticed that Capcom didn't release any RE game for the Wii, or any new RE game for the Wii U at all. Poor system, man. Like, the only thing that interested me back in the day for the Nintendo Wii U, sorry, I hate the fucking name, Wii U, was Zombie U, and Zombie U was quite cool. It was is it a survival horror game? Does it come under that? It was cool, and it was like a survival horror zombie apocalypse thing set in London. It was quite cool. The thing that got me hooked was the trailer of it though. The trailer was fucking amazing for it. And then that got released everywhere, so there was no reason to buy a Wii U for me, so. Oh wait, 2 seconds. The only Resident Evil game that released on Wii U was Revelations 1. But again, that game was released everywhere. And now we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Current day, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 are the only RE games on the Switch at the moment, which, like I said before, is probably a tester for Capcom to see what the sales were like on the Switch. And to be honest, that's probably the exact same thing they did for the Wii U. They were like seeing what the install base was. They were like, yeah, let's see what this game would be like in this market, and then it probably sold shit. Do you know, I'm actually gonna look up the sales numbers for that. Well, there's nothing. Oh wait, underperformed. Yeah, so Revelations 1 and 2 were bundled together, and you could buy them separately as well on the Switch, but both those games together sold 250,000 copies, which is pretty good for, what, a 5-year-old game on the new gen console? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, to be honest. I bought it again. And this is with no advertising for the Switch release. I didn't see anything really going out with this. I seen like one article, probably. I think I seen like 3. And there were very brief things. It was like, oh yeah, this is coming. That's it. So yeah, I think these numbers are really good. So imagine a brand new RE title with all the advertising of like what Resident Evil 7 got. And the game would definitely sell more than 250k on the Switch. It would sell hundreds of thousands. I'd buy a copy. I'd buy 2 copies. I don't know why I would buy 2 copies, but I'd buy 2 copies, why not? So yeah, let's talk about what I would like to see come to the Switch in terms of Resident Evil games. First up is the upcoming Resident Evil 2 remake, which I have been meaning to do a video on, to be honest. I think this is a definite thing that's going to happen. I think during E3 this year, the game will be revealed in a PlayStation conference, then later on, it will be announced for the Switch on Nintendo's live E3 video thing. I don't really know what to call it, because it's not really a conference, it's just a video of it's just announcement videos, announcement live streams. I know they have like a name for it. So there's not much to be said about Resident Evil 2 Remake. There's a few rumours going around, like how the game is switching to a over-the-shoulder perspective, like in RE4, instead of keeping the fixed camera angle or first person. This rumour, I think, is fake because it would just be silly on Capcom's hands to get rid of fixed camera angles, and to be honest, no matter how much I think it'll be cool, the game won't be in first person either. The community will go fucking nuts the second they see the over-the-shoulder angle and not any fixed camera angles. Like, I don't get why you would remake a game, like, especially Resident Evil 2, like, that's a big fucking deal, and not keep the fixed camera angles. It'll be silly. If they manage to add the options of having first, fixed, or third person, I'd be completely fine with this, even though it's highly unlikely. But the funny thing is, I've actually heard people say that they flat out do not want the option to switch between all these 3 perspectives and only want fixed camera angles. I think that that's completely stupid, because they would still have fixed camera angles. Like, you don't need to play the other ones. But yeah, it's like you would keep fixed camera angles, but just have other options. And if they did have the other perspectives, it'll prompt people to do more playthroughs of the game. I'll definitely replay the game at least 3 times or 4 times, because I'll do 2 in the fixed camera angles, because obviously there'll be stuff you miss in the first playthrough. And also like a new game plus and all that. And then you would play through the different perspectives. It'd be cool. Anyway, I'll talk more about Resident Evil 2 Remake in another video in the future. I will definitely do a video on it, because it's something I really want to talk about. Next game I want to see is a port of Resident Evil 7. I know this will be a thing eventually, and I want it to be soon, but I don't think we'll see it this year. I really don't think we'll see it this year, even though I really hope so. The reason I say this is because apparently Capcom is still adjusting the RE engine to work with the Switch. Which, you never know, like Resident Evil 7 could be out later this year. I'm just, you know, maybe fall this year, like October or something like that. Judging from a video by Switch Planet, where they run Resident Evil 7 on a computer with similar specs to a Switch, I think it's safe to assume that the game will run fine on the platform. In that video, however, the game stays around 30 FPS mark, sometimes going up to even 59 FPS, which is pretty good at some points. So yeah, I hope we see Resident Evil 7 Switch Edition this year. I'll definitely pick it up again if it does come out. Hopefully it gets announced at Nintendo's E3 this year. I've been hoping for it every time I see one of their like mini announcement videos, live stream things they do. Nintendo Directs. I've been hoping for it just to pop up, just the logo, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Resident Evil Revelations was a game that was made for the 3DS in particular at the very start. Obviously, like Capcom said there earlier, it underperformed in 3DS, so they ported it over to other consoles, blah blah blah. But yeah, we could be here all day guessing what kind of Switch exclusive RE game could be. RE Mercenaries 2, maybe. Dead Aim 2, maybe. Yeah, that's probably a stretch. I don't think there will be ever a Dead Aim 2. I don't even, like, people don't even know what Dead Aim is. Never mind a sequel. Realistically, I think Revelations 3 is a definite thing that is going to happen, especially after the success of 1 and 2. 3 would probably be a timed exclusive for the Switch, like 1 was for the 3DS, and like what Resident Evil 4 was for the GameCube, and what like Resident Evil Remake was for the GameCube, and like what Umbrella Chronicles and all that for the Wii. There's a lot of timed exclusives for between Resident Evil and Nintendo. In terms of characters for Revelations 3, it'd be cool if it was just Barry Barton alone. Like Claire Redfield was cool, I like her as a character, and then Barry Barton was there as the second character, but no, I want Barry Barton by himself on his own wee adventure to take down... Who can he take down? To take down that wee scientist I made up from Resident Evil 8 video. That guy. Have Barry Barton in the asylum. It'd be great. It'd be awesome. It'd be absolutely amazing. So yeah guys, that is it for this video. If you want to see more Resident Evil content, please, yeah, just write down in the comments below, and I'll definitely make more Resident Evil videos, because even my last Resident Evil 8 video is doing really well at the moment. I'm definitely going to be making another speculation Resident Evil 8 video soon. This video is going on for nearly 30 minutes, so I'm going to just cap this off right here. By the way, if you have an idea for a Resident Evil Switch game, please write down in that comment section below, because I would love to hear your ideas. So yeah guys, that is me, and I shall see you later. Bye bye.